Eagles will be able to repeat as Super Bowl champions. I mean, listen, they're rolling on all fronts right now except off.
The NFL offseason just exploded. Travis Kelce is wrestling with retirement, his brother just broke a major broadcasting rule live on TV, and Patrick Mahomes is hyping things up from the sidelines. This story has everything. Don't miss a single twist. Subscribe now for more exclusive celeb and sports stories, only on VIP Celeb Zone. The NFL offseason is already heating up, and honestly, it's working overtime. Travis Kelce is front and center right now, stuck at a pretty major crossroads. Does he hang up the cleats for good, or does he run it back for one more season after that brutal playoff exit? Here's the thing, according to sources close to the situation, he's not rushing into anything. Kelce taking his time, really thinking through what comes next before he pulls the trigger on any big decisions.
Finishes, even though, it ended the way it did. Guys still showed up, gave it their all, and that's all you can ask for, man. And I got so much love for this team, this organization, and the people here. So I'll spend some time with them, go through exit meetings tomorrow, and get close to the family.
Things got extra emotional when Jason Kelce accidentally broke the sacred broadcasting rule. He dropped a "We on live TV." Because here's the truth, retiring doesn't just uninstall team loyalty like deleting an app. Meanwhile, Patrick Mahomes was stuck at home on the couch, but that didn't stop him from hyping up Travis like the ultimate hype man when Kelce hit that insane 13,000-yard milestone. That's what best friends do. Now, Taylor Swift? She was noticeably absent from the Vegas finale, and yeah, people noticed. But before you go thinking it's relationship drama, it's not. Sources say it's all about security concerns and smart risk management. Nothing to see here, folks. So here's where we're at. Travis Kelce is officially in his "Is This My Last Rodeo" era, and he's definitely not rushing to slap a retirement sticker on his helmet just yet. After Kansas City dropped their final game of the season to the Raiders, Kelce's post-game vibe was a mix of proud, sentimental, and let me catch my breath before you'll start writing my goodbye speech. According to people close to the situation, Travis is taking his sweet time before making any life-altering decisions. And honestly, at 36 years old and still built like a human freight train, the man's earned that right. Kelce made it crystal clear he's got an enormous amount of love for the Chiefs, the organization, the coaching staff, and everyone who's ever handed him a playbook or screamed "Let's go" from the sideline. Even with the season ending the way it did, he was quick to give props to the squad for showing up and battling through absolute chaos, especially after Patrick Mahomes went down earlier this season with that devastating high ankle injury that required surgery back in December.
Honestly, I've been just focused on trying to win football games, man. I'll let that be a decision that I make with my family, friends, the Chiefs organization, when the time comes.
Honestly, the fact that the Chiefs kept scrapping even after losing their QB1, that's exactly the kind of thing that makes grown men get misty-eyed in the locker room while pretending it's just sweat. But things get even spicier. Kelce admitted that after their Super Bowl loss earlier this year, he knew instantly he wanted to run it back for another season. This time though, he's sitting in a totally different chair. He's planning to go through the usual exit meetings, spend some real quality time with family, and let the decision marinate for a bit, because apparently, retirement decisions aren't as simple as ordering Uber Eats at 2 a.m.
The Eagles will be able to repeat as Super Bowl champions. I mean, listen, they're rolling on all fronts right now except.
He even hinted that the decision could hit him fast or take a while. Athletes speak for "Stop asking me. I haven't even taken my cleats off yet." Kelce also sounded confident in his own play, even if the team didn't exactly light it up this year. He came in prepared and ready to rock, but in his view, the ball just didn't bounce their way in those tight games. If he does return, he knows he'll have to lock in hard, staying available and ready for those big moments. Because let's be real, the NFL doesn't run on vibes alone. After the game, he reportedly felt a rush of emotions, acknowledging how wild it was to share the field with younger players getting their first real taste of primetime NFL life. Meanwhile, retirement chatter has been loud all season, especially after Kansas City missed the playoffs for the first time since 2014. And honestly, the second the season ended, the drama didn't stay on the field. It marched straight into the broadcast booth and started throwing flags on people's feelings. Jason Kelce and JJ Watt are learning the hard way. Retirement doesn't actually retire your emotions. It just puts them on live television with a microphone in your face and a producer yelling, "We're back in 10." both of these legends are still fresh enough off the field that their brains haven't fully accepted the new job description. Technically, they're analysts now, but emotionally, they're still players, just with better lighting and fewer ribs getting cracked. There's this unspoken broadcasting rule in the NFL universe, like one of those invisible laws everyone just knows. Don't microwave fish at work. Don't trust a guy who calls himself an alpha. And most importantly, don't sound like you're still on the team. No we, no us, no accidental emotional attachment spilling onto the desk like a Gatorade bath. Yet Jason Kelce and JJ Watt both stepped right over that line like it was a training cone. Of course, we'll start with Jason, because naturally, it's Jason. Jason Kelce has spent his whole life as the human embodiment of Philly grit, and now ESPN has him on Monday Night Football trying to act neutral, like he doesn't have an eagle literally tattooed on his soul. Before the Eagles took on the Packers, he was breaking down what fans could expect, but the second he started talking about the Eagles, his mouth betrayed him. He said we, which, in broadcast terms, is basically the equivalent of accidentally texting your ex, "I miss you." Mind you, he hasn't suited up for the Eagles in nearly 2 seasons, but his heart clearly didn't get the memo. And it's not like he did it on purpose. This is muscle memory. It's like telling a dad not to say "back in my day," or a Pakistani auntie not to ask about your marriage plans. Impossible. Jason's still emotionally in the huddle. The only difference is now his helmet is an earpiece, and his pre-game ritual is sipping coffee instead of headbutting someone. Audio, don't help me. Eagles will be able to repeat as Super Bowl champions. I mean, listen, they're rolling on all fronts right now, except offense. Then there's JJ Watt, the absolute monster who used to terrorize quarterbacks for fun. Now he's sitting calmly as a CBS analyst, trying to string together sentences like a normal human, even though his entire existence was spent built like a superhero action figure. During the Texans vs Jaguars game, he had one of those moments where he completely slipped into what mode, like he might just suit up at halftime if Houston needed him. And it hit even harder because it was CBS Sports' first broadcast from Houston, making the whole vibe feel like walking into your old high school and suddenly remembering every embarrassing thing you ever did. Nostalgia is dangerous. Watt spent a good chunk of the broadcast describing the stadium from this new perspective, almost letting the audience hear his inner monologue. Wait, why am I not wearing pads? Why am I not yelling? Why am I even sitting down? He even commented on seeing the Jaguars have success against us, a little slip of the old player heart showing through the analyst persona. Watt's presence was a reminder that some things don't just retire. The emotions, the instincts, the pride, they all stick around, lurking under the suit and tie, waiting for the right game to remind you how much you still feel like one of the guys. Some fans online were instantly like, "Excuse me, sir, you're not on the payroll anymore," which is funny because, technically, he kind of is. Just a different payroll now.
Very strange to see this stadium from this perspective, to see the Jaguars having so much.
Can we blame them? These guys have been living and breathing their teams for years. Their entire identity was wrapped up in the locker room. The schedule, the pain, the wins, the heartbreak. Then one day you retire, and suddenly you're expected to be this perfectly neutral journalistic robot, never showing emotion, never slipping up, never cheering, never doing anything that reveals you still care. That's a lot. It's like asking someone to quit WhatsApp and switch to email, only more traumatic. And speaking of cheering, press box etiquette is basically holy scripture. You don't celebrate, you don't clap, you don't do the "let's go." Not even a subtle shoulder shimmy when your team scores. You sit there like a statue, pretending to watch a documentary about grass. Meanwhile, Jason Kelce is built like a guy who would chest bump a stranger at Wawa because the Eagles converted a 3rd down. You really think he's going to sit quietly while his heart is screaming? Not a chance. The muscle memory, the habits, the instincts, they don't just retire with the pads. They linger like a ghost in the broadcast booth, waiting for the right moment to remind everyone who he really is. Sit there stone-faced, please. While the broadcast booth tries to dish out neutrality like it's mandatory, Patrick Mahomes is at home doing the exact opposite, basically screaming that "that's my guy" from the couch as Travis Kelce casually adds another ridiculous achievement to his Hall of Fame resume. The Chiefs are on the road in Vegas against the Raiders, and the vibes are already spicy because insiders say this could be Kelce's last NFL matchup. No pressure, right? Just potentially the final chapter of a 13-season run under Allegiant Stadium's lights, with the internet ready to turn every facial expression into a retirement announcement. And then, of course, Travis goes and makes history. He reels in a short 5-yard catch, not flashy, not a Hollywood highlight, but that little snag pushes him into the exclusive 13,000 career receiving yards club for tight ends. That's not a club you join. That's a secret society. You get summoned. Mahomes, stuck at home recovering from his high ankle injury, instantly pops up online to celebrate. He doesn't write an essay, doesn't get poetic. He just hits the world with the digital equivalent of a proud best friend yelling across the room, 13K plus a strong arm emoji. Because when you're Patrick Mahomes, even your emojis have swagger, and obviously the fans went feral in the replies, practically begging Mahomes to do something, anything, to keep Travis from retiring. Like Patrick Mahomes personally has the power to revoke retirement papers and lock Kelce in Arrowhead with a plate of barbecue until he signs for another season. One fan even tried to recruit Mahomes into the "Don't Let Him Retire" movement, which is hilarious because the man is on injured reserve and people still want him running HR for the entire franchise. What makes it even wilder is how Kelce hit that milestone in the first place. With Mahomes out, the Chiefs have been living that next man up life, but the next man kept getting hurt, too. The pass that pushed Kelce into history? It came from third-string quarterback Carson Wentz, who had stepped in after starter Patrick Mahomes and backup went down with injuries earlier this season. So yeah, Kelce hit 13,000 yards in the middle of a full-on QB injury roulette, making the milestone even more iconic. Meanwhile, while the Chiefs were battling in Vegas, Taylor Swift was apparently nowhere near Allegiant Stadium, and before anyone starts screaming "break up" into the void, sources say it was more about security than relationship drama. Taylor skipped the season finale because away games in random cities come with way too many safety headaches, especially when you're basically the most recognizable human on earth. She's been a regular at Arrowhead, but traveling has been a whole different beast this season, so her absence in the stands wasn't a shock to the inner circle. If you're obsessed with the drama behind the game just like we are, smash that subscribe button and hit the bell for VIP Celeb Zone. We're bringing you all the tea, all the highlights, and all the moments the mainstream media won't tell you. Drop a comment below. Do you think Travis should retire or run it back one more time? Let's talk.